Most ancient cities protected themselves with massive stone walls. Sparta didn't have any. When an envoy from another city asked King Agesilaus why Sparta lacked walls, the king pointed to his heavily armed citizens and replied, "These are Sparta's walls, and every man is a brick." Sparta wasn't just a city-state, it was a society entirely engineered for one single purpose: war. They created the most lethal infantry the world had ever seen, where individual fear was erased by law, and surrender was considered the ultimate sin. But behind the myth of the 300 lay a brutal, complex world of dual kings, terrifying coming-of-age rituals, and a society that preferred death over dishonor. Today, we step into the iron world of the Spartans. A Spartan's military life began at birth. Elders inspected every newborn baby. If it was deemed weak or deformed, it was left to die in a chasm at Mount Taygetus. At the age of 7, boys were taken from their mothers and placed into the agoge, a brutal state-run training program. They were systematically starved to force them to steal food. If they were caught, they weren't punished for stealing, but for being clumsy enough to get caught. They walked barefoot in the winter, slept on beds of reeds they tore out of the river with their bare hands, and were whipped publicly just to test their endurance. By their teenage years, the best of them entered the Cryptaia, the Spartan secret police. Armed only with a dagger, they were sent into the countryside at night to hunt and kill helots, the enslaved population of Sparta, to keep them from revolting. This wasn't a school, it was a Darwinian meat grinder designed to strip away individual humanity and replace it with absolute obedience to the phalanx. Politically, Sparta was unique. It had not one, but two kings ruling simultaneously from two different royal bloodlines, the Argeads and the Eurypontids. One king went to war, while the other stayed behind to manage the city. But the kings weren't absolute dictators. They were held in check by the Gerousia, a council of 28 elders over the age of 60, and the Aphers, 5 elected magistrates who could actually arrest a king if he broke the law. All of this was based on the legendary laws of Lycurgus. He banned gold and silver, replacing them with heavy iron bars so cumbersome that no one could hoard wealth or take bribes. Sparta despised luxury. While the rest of Greece built philosophers and poets, Sparta built an unyielding elite. When a Spartan woman handed her son his shield before war, she told him, "With it or on it. Come back victorious or come back dead." The true test of Sparta came when the Persian Empire invaded Greece. In 480 BC, King Leonidas led a small force, including his personal guard of 300 elite Spartans, to block the narrow pass of Thermopylae against hundreds of thousands of Persians under Xerxes. When Xerxes demanded they hand over their weapons, Leonidas gave the ultimate historical comeback. "Molon Labe, come and take them." For 3 days, the Spartan phalanx became an impenetrable wall of bronze and wood. Persian soldiers were pushed into the sea. Even Xerxes' elite immortals shattered against the Spartan shields. Though a traitor eventually showed the Persians a mountain path to encircle them, the 300 fought to the last man, buying time for Greece to unite. But Thermopylae was a glorious defeat. The real vengeance happened 1 year later at the Battle of Plataea. Here, the largest Spartan army ever assembled, 10,000 hoplites, led the Greek coalition. Under the Persian arrow storm, the Spartans stood perfectly still, waiting for the omens to be right. When the command finally came, they charged. The Persian wicker shields and light infantry were utterly annihilated by the heavy Spartan dory spears. Sparta secured the freedom of Greece. Sparta won the war against Persia, and later even defeated Athens to dominate Greece. But their system was too rigid. Because they refused to grant citizenship to outsiders and lost too many men in battles, their numbers dwindled. By 371 BC, they were crushed by Thebes at the Battle of Leuctra, and the Spartan myth was broken forever. Today, nothing remains of ancient Sparta but ruins and a statue of Leonidas. Unlike Athens, they left no philosophy, no theatre, and no great monuments. But they left a name that will be remembered as long as humanity tells stories of courage and discipline. Thanks for watching. Who was your favorite Spartan king? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to History of History, hit that like button, and turn on notifications. See you in the next episode.